launch conductor in mission control. We pause at this moment in our countdown to remember and honor the lives of each of the participants on the Celestis Memorial spaceflight. Their presence on this flight signifies a commitment to the opening of the space frontier shared by all of us. We wish the friends and families present today and all those who are with us in spirit all over the world Godspeed, good luck, and our thanks for allowing us to share this very personal time with you today. Elsie out. 5 vehicles armed. 3, 2, 1, fire. Missile away.
Hey, good evening, and my name is Mark, and I'm one of the ambassadors for Celestis Memorial Space Flights. For those of you that have been with us for a lot of our past mission updates, you pretty much know how this goes. So this information is for those, of course, who are joining us for the first time. It's glad to see you guys. I know we've been away for a little while, but until we've had information to really share to you is when these happen. Now, we do have a chat room, chat box, chat screen. If there are any questions that you would like to ask, and no question is a bad question, you just ask right away, and just like this, some of them will pop up on the screen, especially some of the questions. We do have Celestis staff that are backstage reading all of the comments. So even though the answers may not always come up on the screen, they'll be in that chat box. So if you do have at least access to comment while you're watching this briefing, we'll answer all your questions. If we don't get to all the questions, and Charlie usually is very good at handling all of the questions, getting to each and every one of the questions. If there's anything that you didn't ask in time, you forgot to ask during the broadcast, you can still ask at any time by basically contacting our Celestis Memorial Spaceflight crew via email, via text, via telephone, and you still will get those answers. Okay, so we're happy to have Charlie here. He is our resident pro. He is literally a celebrity in his own right. He's been hosting all of these launches, and I'm gonna bring him up right now. And basically, Charlie, how you doing, man? Long time no see.
Yeah, we had a hiatus a month or so, and yeah, missed you. And but you look well and doing well. Always happy to join you for our live streams, Mark.
Same here, Charlie. We got 90-degree weather here all week. I don't know what it's like over where you are.
Well, I live in beautiful Santa Fe, New Mexico, so it's sunny 300 days a year, no humidity. We're going to get up into the 70s today, and it's just beautiful weather in New Mexico. Why did I move here? Why didn't I move here sooner? It's the question.
Yeah, you're right.
No, it's great. So we have a busy.
I'm sorry, Charlie.
Lots of folks online. So you ready to get to it?
I was about to mention that. So let's go ahead and start off with the show. I'll be in the background, and Charlie's going to go ahead and start off. Guys, enjoy this mission update.
So I wanted to start out tonight by welcoming everyone, and also just to hear, have a chance to tell you guys that 28 years ago today, I was standing in Mas Palomas in the Canary Islands, Gran Canaria, celebrating our first memorial space flight, the Founders Flight, which was flown out of the Canary Islands on an Orbital Sciences Pegasus in April 21, 1997. 24 participants, some very well known, Gene Roddenberry, Timothy Leary, some well known in the space fields, Croft Erik, part of the original V2 crowd, but also father of the Atlas rocket, and Gerard O'Neill, very famous Princeton professor that started a lot of us off on the modern human expansion into space movement. So it's been 28 years, and we're coming up this year on our 25th mission. And I like to say, we don't keep precise numbers. I suppose we could go back and count, but we're up around 2,500 flight capsules, folks flown into space, which is about 5 times the number of all the astronauts that have ever flown from all countries. So I think it's fair to say that we're, in our own way, helping the humanity become multiplanetary and move out into the solar system, save the planet, whatever you'd like to say. But certainly that was a motivation behind the founding of Celestis, as well as the fulfillment and the closure that we know we provide to everyone who participates with our missions. So happy anniversary to us is what I will say. So tonight we wanted to focus, after I do the mission update, already got a couple questions on that, on pre-arranging. In other words, signing up for the service before you need it, your memorial spaceflight. We have literally hundreds of folks that have done that, and they choose to do that for several reasons. Mostly it has to do with certainty and removing the burden on people. Certainty meaning, I know I want this. I want to make it so clear to everyone that I want it, that I'm going to have it. And secondly, now that I know it's done, I know that my family's not going to have to run around while they're planning other things or while they're dealing with grief and contact you guys. So we'll talk a little bit about pre-arrangement. But before we do that, the rundown on the coming missions. As everyone knows, I think we're doing 2 missions this year, at least scheduled. I always have to say scheduled because schedules change. But currently, our next mission up is an Earthrise mission where we will bring back, if everything goes as planned, the flight capsules that we fly on a short orbital trip. We're working with the exploration company out of Germany on their Nix mission. I think this one's called Mission Possible, which is a really innovative return capsule where the contents are launched, they orbit. In this case, it'll be just a short 2 or 3 orbits. The capsule is then returned to Earth where the contents are collected, including our Celestis flight capsules, and we'll return those flight capsules as flown keepsakes to the primary contact of the family. Perseverance is, we're narrowing it down. We're now in a 2-week window beginning in mid-June, extending through the end of June. Vandenberg Space Force Base is the planned launch site. We are on what's called the Celestis rideshare, or SpaceX rideshare mission. I believe this is the 14th rideshare mission. So as we get closer, particularly for those of you who have loved ones on board, might be thinking about journeying out to the beautiful California Central Coast, we'll be in touch. The schedules will be tight. So I would not, and also what today is the last 2 weeks of June might slip over in the last week of June, the first week of July. We stay as close as we can to those schedules, and everything we know we'll tell you. If you're unable to make those quick turnaround plans to attend the launch in person, The launches are all webcast. All SpaceX launches are webcast, and we will webcast the memorial service associated with the mission. So that's Perseverance. That's coming up. For those of you that are on that flight, you'll be hearing from us periodically going forward as we learn things. Serenity is our next orbital launch, currently looking at Q4 of this year. We're flying with a company called Above Orbit out of Huntsville, Alabama. They have a space tug, which is a nice way of saying they put a lot of satellites on an upper stage and launch the satellites from that upper stage. We will be on that stage. We will not be launched. We never release our own capsules or spacecraft into Earth orbit because we don't want to add to all the stuff that's already there. So we have always, since day one, configured the Earth orbital missions for self-containment. They're going on something that's going there anyway, and when they re-enter, they will vaporize along with the carrier. So that's Serenity Q4. As we get closer, we will make more announcements. Our next Luna mission, excuse me, lunar service mission is named Destiny, still holding at Q1 next year. We'll be getting more information on that this summer, and of course, we'll share it with you. And then the next flight after Enterprise, the next deep space mission, Infinite, is scheduled for Q4 of 2026. So that's the lineup coming. Of course, there are other missions in the works, but we try to just stay with the next one of each service when we're discussing manifests. All righty. I think that with that, it's time to turn to the topic today, which is prearranging your Celestis memorial spaceflight. As I said, people do that because they want to lock the price. And yes, we've actually had 1 or 2 price increases over the life of our business. Inflation is real to us as it is everyone else. And the key element of prearranging, one of the key elements, is you're locking in your price. You'll know that the price that you're purchasing, even if it raises during the however many, 5, 10, 30 years that you're that until you need the flight, the price is locked and you have the service guaranteed. That's the second element of why you do it. As I said before, a lot of people really want to take care of everything in advance, know that it's done, not burden family members with having to fulfill their wishes. That's another reason why people choose to prearrange. And one thing that you need to know about prearrangement is that we use trust accounts. And that is to say that the majority of the money that is collected from, we keep some of it because we have to store your ashes, administer all of that. But the vast majority of the monies that we take in, and you'll see this in the contract, go into a trust account that is held by a trust bank, federally chartered trust bank, and that account is in your name. So you have the right to change your mind and get that portion of your money. Plus your money is earning interest in that account, and we share that interest with you, meaning if you decide to cancel or need to, you have a financial emergency, not only you get the principal, but you'll get half of the interest earned in that account. So it's a very safe way. As I say, it's a bank, it's federally chartered, And the funds are there, and that answers the question that people always ask: how do I know you guys are going to be around to do this? Well, we've been around for 30 years. We're planning on another 30, but you don't have to trust that. Your funds are safe in a trust account that we establish in your name, and you are the owner of that trust account. Okay, with that, I think I'll start. We have a lot of great guests tonight. I'm very pleased that we'll be joined by bring on is our Chief Operating Officer at Celestis, Andrea Quasgargas. Andrea has been with us, probably 9 months now, and has really done a lot of amazing things. We're really happy that she's here. And she's going to talk about a way that you can go ahead and go online and prearrange the service on your own. We are announcing today that this week, and you'll get the preview, but this week we will start allowing people to prearrange their spaceflight services online. Now, don't worry, we'll be there chatting online if you need us. But if you just want to, I'm a kind of person that doesn't necessarily want to talk to a travel agent. I just want to go online and book my vacation. So the same is true for your Memorial spaceflight. So Andrea, show us a little bit about what's coming our way.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you, Charlie. Mark, can I get my screen up? Here we go. So very excited to introduce everyone to one of many exciting updates that we will have related to the Celestis digital experience. And as the first part of that, we are launching a pre-need store, as Charlie mentioned. So this is our landing page where anyone interested in learning about pre-arrangements and how they work and what's involved in them can visit. So we'll have lots of information, FAQs, all the details about the services that we offer, and the ability, like Charlie said, to chat at any time. So you notice there's a chat window in the bottom right-hand corner of the screen. So at any point, if you have questions, we have staff that will be online ready to answer your questions at any time within business hours usually. And if we're not online, you can leave a message and we'll get back to you as soon as we are back online. Pretty simple. We're trying to keep this site as clean and accessible and mobile friendly as possible. So like I mentioned, you have access to frequently asked questions surrounding pre-arrangements. And when you're ready to make your purchase and you've decided on the spaceflight experience that you would like, you can actually enter an online sale experience where you'll complete a form which will instantly transfer information to us so that you can choose which one you're interested in, understand the contractual obligations right here online, nice and easy. And when I click this, it's actually going to take us through the sale process. So I don't know, Charlie, if we want to go all the way through, but just demonstrate.
I don't think we need to do most people have bought something online. I think
pretty straightforward terms and conditions. But for Celestis, this represents a big milestone in our ability to accept an online sale and generate a complete contract for our clients that emphasizes all of the points of trust and security related to the purchase. As Charlie mentioned, we work with ClearPoint Federal Bank and Trust. So yeah, we're here to answer questions, and I'm available if anybody ever would like to send an email operationally and give feedback or support related to their purchase, then please reach out. We're here to make the experience better and more accessible for everyone.
Thank you, Andrea. And I hearken back, given that this is the 28th anniversary. We used to track all this stuff on big pieces of cardboard pasted to our office walls. And then we evolved into, file drawers full of individual files. The digital revolution in AI is just remarkable as to where it's taken this company, and I'm sure other companies.
Absolutely.
but we're as I say, we're targeting to be able to have that thing live sometime this week. Our social folks will post it on our Facebook, Instagram, and X accounts, and we'll send out an email. So if you want to be kept apprised of activities and stuff about Celestis, you just need to go to the Celestis website, celestis.com, and hit contact and register for our newsletter. And that way, if you're not already one of the thousands, literally, of people that are following us, you'll be able to get that information and have it right at your fingertips. So we're excited about this launch. I think it'll make everybody's life a little easier, and we're hopeful that it's a service that you guys, meaning our family, our Celestis family, will take advantage of. As I say, don't assume you have to you don't have to use this tool. We're always happy. Many of you have interacted with our chief of sales, Christiana Scholl. She's always happy to take whatever amount of time you need for your questions, and she'll work with you directly. Okay.
And to that point, Charlie, I'll just point out here that on the landing page itself, you can schedule a call directly with Christiana or Faith at the office as well. So at the
That's cool. Yeah, good. Glad you added that. Thank you, Andrea.
Thank
and
you.
Thanks for the hard work leading this charge.
Absolutely.
Okay.
My pleasure.
Yeah. Next, I'd like to bring Erik Muckley, who is a young man who contacted us from Baltimore Life Insurance. And one of the ways that you can choose to prearrange your Celestis service is through life insurance policies. And I thought Erik has an interesting point to make about how to do that, and want to bring him up. And Erik, welcome. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you, Charles. Good evening, everybody. Thanks for having me. So I'm a life insurance agent. I'm Erik Muckley with Baltimore Life Insurance Companies. I reached out to Celestis, was very happy to help share this mission with, family, friends. Life insurance is a way to provide potentially much more affordable funding for your Celestis space mission, as well as making it more accessible to your loved ones. So thanks for welcoming.
Yeah, and tell us a little bit about what you can do with an insurance policy for a memorial space flight.
So life insurance, so we will walk through whole life insurance policies in order to completely fund your Celestis space flight mission. Sorry, give me one sec. I apologize, a little nervous for the crowd, but
Don't worry about it.
I will be able to walk you through.
They're all friends here.
What's that?
Everyone here is a friend.
No, I understand. So we will be able to get you more affordable funding through a life insurance policy, a whole life insurance policy, to make this more accessible for you, so you don't have to liquidate savings and the burden is not falling on your family.
Very cool. And if someone wants to reach you, how do they do that?
You can call 410-559-2821, or
Say
I
that
will also
again.
make sure that's 410-559-2821, and I'll make sure that I share it in the chat, my email, so you can directly reach out to me.
Great, great. Well, thanks. Appreciate you coming on and just introducing the concept. There's trust fund accounts, there's life insurance policies. There are multiple ways to handle the prearrangement. And we also have a number of people that just decide to pay the full amount in advance, and that goes into the trust account and earns interest and is available for you at time of need. All right. Thank you. So let's now turn to our guests of honor tonight. We're so pleased to have Gerald and Elizabeth, or Liz, Paulus with us tonight. Can you bring them up, Mark? Hey, there they are.
Well, hello. Hey, thanks for having us, and good evening.
Where are you coming to us from first?
We're coming from Mesa, Arizona, and you mentioned 300 days of sunshine. Well, we get about 330 days of sunshine.
There you go.
Yeah. We decided to move out here, kind of like you moved to Santa Fe.
Right.
We moved about 30 years ago, so we've been here
Wow.
enjoying the good weather for sure.
Well, that's as close to native status as you can get, almost. I think. Probably only 30 years ago, there weren't too many people in Arizona, not as many people anyway. So
that's true.
Well, welcome. I wanted to bring you guys on for a couple of reasons. One is to talk about the process that you went through, and when you decided to join Celestis, and the choices that you made and are making between, if you will, formats of how you fly. I don't want to say too much. I'd like you guys to talk a little bit about how you found out about it, what you were thinking, and where did we end up meeting you?
Well, yeah, thanks for that question, because it was one of those, my wife and I, we have kind of a routine where we sit at the table in the morning and we have our coffee and we read the newspaper. And I was reading an article, it was a love story actually, about an astronaut, Phil Chapman, and his wife. And Phil had passed away, and his wife had made a decision to send his ashes into space, because of course he's an astronaut, and where else to spend the eternity but into deep space. Anyway, I was looking through the paper and I noticed that Celestis's name was referred to, and I started drilling down and I sent an email, and they have a great staff. The staff got a hold of us, and they began chatting with us about sending our ashes. And I said, I'm not ready to send my ashes yet. We're not ready. They said, well, we have another program here where we can actually send your DNA into deep space. It will never return to Earth. And my wife and I'm going to turn the platform over to her. She loves road trips. But what better way to say I love you than to go on a road trip to eternity on Celestis and out into deep space. And so with that, Liz, talk about your love of the road trips. And
that day when we discovered Celestis through that newspaper article, my husband popped in and said, this would be a really cool idea. What do you think about that? And having grown up in the 60s, where my mind went right away when you said deep space, it's like we're going to go where no person has gone before. So I'm all in for that. And besides, it's pretty exciting to think about being in outer space, in the sense that, well, it's coming in the future. I'm not sure it's going to be in my lifetime, but now we're a part of it. And so off we go. That flight left last January, so about a little more than a year ago. And it's interplanetary. It's on a trajectory to, I believe, loop the sun and Venus. And so we took the opportunity to get involved in that and sending our DNA there. But part of the excitement for me was, again, just being a part of the future when I'm maybe not even going to be here. And then being a Trekkie myself, I was thrilled to know that we're now part of the Starship Enterprise crew, because on our flight with us, we had Nichelle Nichols, Uhura, and we had James Doohan, Scotty, and we had DeForest Kelly, Bones. And so now you have the Pauluses. So, we're part of the flight crew, I guess, is another way to look at it. So just very exciting for us. And again, the ultimate road trip.
Yeah. But wait, there's more. But wait, there's more. We thought, okay, we're sending our DNA into space, and that's basically the end of the story. It's the ultimate road trip. But then Charlie got back with us and said, we actually have a memorial service that you can come to down.
Oh my gosh, that was amazing.
Yeah, it was an amazing service down in Florida. And so it was really a live road trip. Not only did we send our DNA, but then in the mail, we end up getting this. And if you can see this, this is basically a DNA kit. It comes in, and this is our actual DNA that is a memorial for our family. I'm not sure which kid's going to fight over this one, but in any event, this was all part of the package that came with it. So we really did get great value. We met so many wonderful people. We also heard
if you never get a chance to go watch a space launch, you've missed. Okay, so it never was even in my mind because I'm not even close to Florida. So how would I even get there? But this adventure took us to Florida to watch the flight, and it was an extraordinary event, several days. And as he mentioned, there was a memorial service. I mean, literally tear-jerking about those families that were commemorating ashes and why they were commemorating ashes and the passion that they had for their family member. We met the person that was the focus of the newspaper story. Remember Phil Chapman? Well, his wife's name is Maria Singh, and she was there. So she lives in the next town over. So now we've gotten to be friends. There were astronauts there, like Eileen Collins was there, and Story Musgrave, Guy hi Guy, I know you're there somewhere. People that we had a chance to meet on that trip to Florida. So it was just etched in our memories. I can just say it was truly amazing.
Yeah, so it was more than just a road trip, as you had heard here. It is a life of experience. And by the way, my Rotary Club, I happen to be the president of our Rotary Club here. They wanted to hear about the story, and they want to have me give a presentation. And another Rotary Club called Liz and said, "Can you come out and give a presentation?"
There's a lot of interest
because it's relatively new, and then to be able to say yes, we were able to send our DNA, and at some point in the future, we're also going to send our ashes. I think many of you on the call, we just have this lure of space. And when you think about space, if we had the opportunity, we all would be astronauts. We all would get on board and fly. And that's kind of my ultimate bucket list item is to get up there and fly. And I'm hoping that before I have to say goodbye, that there is an opportunity for me to get on a flight at some point.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Bringing back a lot of memories of that flight. That was our very first Voyager mission. I
thought so.
Made a personal promise to Major Roddenberry at our very first mission in '97, when she agreed to fly Gene Roddenberry, creator of Star Trek's ashes, on her first flight. She said, "I'll do that happily, but you have to promise me that when it becomes my time, you will fly the two of us together on a mission to deep space."
That's right.
And,
Slow, huh?
in 1997, I said, "I'll do it." Honestly, didn't have a clue as to how I would do it. But I knew that the advance of space flight and space technology would eventually get us to the point where that would be feasible. Now, it took nearly 30 years to get to that point where there was a commercial. We are the very first private sector deep space mission. And we have so many firsts in what we do, but one of the ones that you guys helped us do was Enterprise is the first ever private deep space mission. And that was not an easy task. We had it booked a couple of times during those 30 years.
Yeah.
But lo and behold, NASA would cancel the Sunjammer project. And as a secondary payload, they don't ask you whether you're okay with that or not. They just cancel the project. So, we have two missions coming up out of the next three. One is named Perseverance and another is named Endurance. And I think that's a description of the company, the our clients who have to endure and persevere, because it is still very special to be able to, to sit here today and talk about, well, let's see, we're a year out into a 2.5-year mission that's going 300 million kilometers into deep space, orbiting the sun, and as you say, intersecting the orbit of Venus and Mars on a literally forever mission. You want to talk about a permanent tribute. That's exactly what we have in Enterprise. And I still sit back and think about what we did. We put 260 folks into deep space, and that you guys are a part of that 260. And that, to my way of thinking, it's not only cool, appropriate, meaningful, it's also testament, not just to the people that are building the spacecraft and launch, but also to the clients that understand that, oh, this isn't like going down and getting on an airplane and flying somewhere. It's space is hard. I see thanks for all the people that are online. I see Tony, your question of, is the tracking available for Enterprise yet? Yes, the answer is yes. Go to the Celestis website, and maybe Christina can put up the full link to it. But you can see where Enterprise is 24/7. So it is available.
Isn't there an app?
You mentioned it's the first, and it is the first, and we went on the first rocket that had the capability, the Vulcan Centaur.
Mm-hmm.
That rocket went forward with that, and when you say, hey, a secondary payload, if they change the mission, they don't ask you. Well, we were treated like we were primary payload.
That's true.
Isn't it wonderful? Yeah, I can't say enough about how ULA treated all of us. ULA being the launch services provider for this was their first Vulcan launch. It was a big deal to them.
At the time, I think it was the largest rocket to go out at the moment. Now it's been eclipsed.
There's some bigger Starship is going to eclipse that, but it's big enough,
But then you had the value add. We find out that John F. Kennedy's DNA is on board with us, and Dwight Eisenhower and George Washington's DNA. And you're thinking, well, how do you get that? Well, back in the day, they didn't have signatures. They took hair and they saved their hair, and they were able then to get that mitochondria out of the hair and put it on with our space launch. And so our DNA is floating around there with some pretty prominent individuals in this universe.
And if we can only get some of that wolf fur from the extinction that they just brought back.
Yeah. Well, I hope we don't come back as Adam and Eve.
But it's so symbolic, so cutting edge, but it's also so individually meaningful. Whether it's you guys or the vast majority of people that were at that launch were there to, I want to say, celebrate the life of someone that they've lost. And I'm always very sensitive to how do you merge that much joy and excitement with the grief cycle that you're in for having lost someone. And it's never more apparent to me than at liftoff of the launch. We had a lot of guests at that launch. We had 650 people from around the world, all of whom nobody knew each other beforehand. Very few people knew each other. Everyone was brought together for a service to celebrate somebody's life. And you can watch over the 3 days. And every mission usually is a minimum of 2, but sometimes a 3-day celebration where like at Enterprise, we had astronaut Eileen Collins address. We've had astronauts at several of our missions because they can give you the perspective of, hey, I've been there. This is what it's like. Then, as you're right, we have a memorial service that we webcast. And sometimes that would, when you have 200, nearly 300 participants, you can have a long memorial service. But it is very touching
It's
to
impactful.
allow people.
Yeah.
To allow people to well, here's a great, June, thank you for your comment here. I love the last, it was such a grief buster and celebration of my nephew's life. And that's what I was trying to say. You see that at the moment of liftoff, it's just impossible not to cheer and high five and just have an emotional uplift. It's just
You're
not
all connected.
right. And that's what brings me personally, but also our team so much. A lot of the reasons why we do this is we cannot eliminate people's grief. We don't try to, but we can give them a transition to joy and celebration
Closure.
surrounding that, their loved one, and closure. And it's hard, I try to talk about this whenever I can, but it's really hard to describe unless you're there, because you literally feel all of these things. You're not just intellectually viewing what's going on. This is, Dad. And Dad always wanted to go to space, and I'm able to make that happen. I'm so constantly reminded of the discussion I had with one of our clients. And she said, Charlie, Dad didn't smile very much in his final days, but you sure should have seen him when we told him what we were going to do for him.
Oh.
And that's, isn't that amazing? It's the essence of the Celestis experience, I think, and why you want to pre-plan to bring it on back around, because you want your loved ones to celebrate your life and to feel that, and not to have to worry about, did I get this I dotted or T crossed? It's hard to, it's not easy to come to one of our launches. It's not easy to come to, you go try and book to go see a space flight, and almost always I can tell you whatever day they say is a day it won't happen when you're far out, because the ranges are getting busy. The systems are really getting good, but they still are subject to weather, to, there's a boat downrange that's not supposed to be there, so the entire mission can't go. And so if, in many ways, the story of coming to the launch is also about what you're doing for your loved one. You're making that effort to witness it as well. And so it's just well, I've done all of them, and I'm not ready to stop going to them either, because it's very fulfilling for us.
It really is a celebration of life too. And, you get a patch. If you look on here, we've got our patches from each mission has a patch, which I think is amazing, the way that's created, and the ability to share that patch. It's really an amazing event, and there's so much value add to it. It's not just about sending your loved one's ashes. It's about that whole experience and that celebration of life.
I'm not sure what we're seeing here is the integration for, I think that's the Perseverance flight. I think those photos were taken in Germany. We had to literally fly all of the capsules, and you see how we deliver them to Munich, to where the spacecraft was being built. Yeah, Perseverance. There it is. It says it right. It must be true. It's right on the packaging. And everybody wears what's called a bunny suit because you're in a clean room. That's a board member and member of the Celestis team, Colby Youngblood, there in the blue in the middle. He made the trip over and hand delivered. we don't trust, certainly we don't trust international postage, but we're getting to where we don't trust domestic postage either. We take very seriously our commitment to treating your loved ones like they should be. They are stored in a locked vault. They are, as we transfer the capsule, the cremated remains or DNA to the capsules, we document the entire process. We then hand carry the capsules to the launch provider. We are, and we audit ourselves every year or so to make sure we're doing the right things. So there's a lot that goes on behind the scenes to prepare for these things. I think the nice thing is we can give a pretty, we looked pretty good there in Florida. We looked like we knew what we were doing because we did. But that was by far our biggest, our largest event. Typically, we'll have anywhere from 100 to 250 guests at a launch. But again, everything is online.
I met a couple on the bus, and they had flown in from Italy. Italy. We had another gentleman we met. He flew in from a country called Reunion. They're from all over the world. Oh.
Yes, indeed. Well, we're a global phenomenon, right? And we always have a fairly large contingent from Japan also, because we have a lot of folks from Japan that fly with us. Our DNA product line or service is growing. You guys are part of a increasing interest in it. I think I've sent mine also. I think it's very cool that I can symbolically be orbiting the sun forever. Kind of looking forward to that. All right, let me scroll through and see. Mary Catherine, thank you for the comment. Let's see. June, I mentioned your comment. Tony, tracking is available, and we were glad to host you. Let's see. We've got David, who's an avid follower of the company since it went live on Facebook. David, thank you. We appreciate it. Grande, D. Grande, I think we answered the mission of Q4 2026. If not, it is the Infinite Deep Space Voyager service mission. David, happy to discuss your arrangements whenever you'd like. Guy Pignolet, who knew Tim Leary and Jerry O'Neill, and who is, I think, famous for being in our New York Times article. Yes. Perseverance flight from, and that's pretty much the gamut of questions that we've had. All righty, guys, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thanks for having us.
And anything else you want to add before? It's great to see you both. You guys were, they're just at all of our missions. I try to meet everybody that's there, but there's some smiles you just don't forget. And the two of you bring that energy everywhere you go, I'm sure.
No, I think we've covered it. And again, it's a great experience. I even really like the mind file that you put together, where people could actually put their name up there if that's something that they wanted to do. And if they wanted to leave a message to the future, that mind file is a great opportunity.
Yeah. We've been flying digital information for years, and we'll continue to do that. I want to give a little teaser. I think it will be next month. Don't hold to it, but in the coming 2 to 3 months, we're going to have a major new service to announce that I think everybody will go, wow. Kind of like when we announced the Voyager service a few years back, or the Luna service. There's no shortage of places to visit in the solar system. The only The only important thing to do is now we're seeing the launch world catching up with the imagination of people. And that opens up all kinds of new stuff to do, which, as you might imagine, we've been thinking about, and we're putting together this service. We have some other ones that are in the fold, but we do have a new one coming, and we'll be happy to announce that. Not sure if we'll get it done by next month. It's kind of busy around here getting ready for launches and what have you. But it's far enough along that I'm willing to tease it tonight.
I just would like to add real quick that, it was such an extraordinary experience. If you're hanging on the edge, wondering if you're going to do it or not, just such a memory, and feeling connected to all those that took the journey there and were part of it. It's really marvelous. It's really wonderful. Highly recommend it.
Thank you. Appreciate that. And know you feel that way. Hey, Erik, thank you for joining us. Baltimore Life, we've posted his phone number and how to reach him. As I said, we have a number of clients that have already chosen life insurance as their approach. And I'm sure he'd be happy to talk to you. Thank you for there's your phone number again. Thanks for joining us. And I think, Mark, I don't have anything else for tonight. So unless you've got some stuff, take it away.
Yeah, I just snort laughed a little bit, because when you mentioned the teaser, June yelled out in the chat room, "Mars!"
If only.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Martian surface lunar flight in the future, maybe, or so.
Maybe.
Charles, it's always a pleasure to have you to entertain and both inform us. Erik, by the way, Erik, I'm from Baltimore.
How are you?
Yeah, Baltimore, Maryland. Born, educated. I'm a University of Maryland grad.
I love that. We're right up the street from you then.
Yeah. I'm in Florida now. I live outside of Orlando.
Philadelphia and at heart here. Thank you.
Yeah, and I just want to say also to Jerry and Liz, my God, you need to get hired.
I would love to be an ambassador.
You guys were two incredible salesperson there, mentioning things that I even forgot about. I mean, I knew we did my files, but it wasn't in the front of my head like it was yours. So thank you so much for reminding. Yeah, for reminding us. I want to go ahead and mention to everyone once again, these are recorded broadcasts that if you've been witnessing right now, you're witnessing it live. But if you have family members that want to know any of this information, if you don't really want to try and talk it back to your family members who probably have a billion questions about what's this all about, you could do two things, and you should do both. And both is rewatch these broadcasts both on Facebook and or YouTube. And the other thing is contact us, talk to us, ask as many questions as you want about how do we get down to where all the launches are, to payment plans, life insurance with Erik here. Just ask any question. There is no dumb question. And my God, we go to space. So what could be out of this world than what we do? So nothing's off the table. Just ask us anything. Charlie, do you have any dates as to next broadcast, next mission update?
Yeah, we typically try to do the third Monday of the month. So if we go to May
20 something, I'm assuming.
Let's see, May looks like the 19th.
Okay. Just make sure you check all of our pages, folks. Tentative May 19th, unless something changes, and you'll always know. Please invite your friends to watch these broadcasts live, relatives. You are intending on being a part of our family here in terms of sending someone up, please contact us and stay in touch with us as often as possible. I see May 19th there. Gotcha. Okay. Our staff is always ready to answer all the questions, in addition to Charlie giving them to you verbatim. So do that. Other than that, I don't have anything else, Charlie.
Okay. Well, again, thanks everybody for logging in. If you have any questions, not just about prearrangement, but any questions about Celestis, we're 24/7 people, and if we don't catch you when you reach us, we will get back to you immediately. So that opportunity to ask us those questions is always present, and we are pleased to do it. We have a lot of stuff going on. There'll be some other things going on soon, but right now we're focused on our next 2 missions, and looking forward to seeing family members there who have the flexibility to travel, and if not, looking forward to having you online with us.
Very good. Thank you.
All righty. So on behalf of Charlie and Erik and Liz and Jerry, thank you so much. And of course, Andrea, who I have yet to meet in person, but I'm dying to do that. So thank you so much for joining our broadcast. Watch it again. In the meantime, we will see you guys in 30 days at least. Okay. Take care.
Thank you.
Good night. Have a great
Good
week.
night.
Have a
Good
great
night.
week.
Thanks, everybody.
This is the launch conductor in Mission Control. We pause at this moment in our countdown to remember and honor the lives of each of the participants on the Celestis Memorial spaceflight. Their presence on this flight signifies a commitment to the opening of the space frontier shared by all of us. We wish the friends and families present today and all those who are with us in spirit all over the world Godspeed, good luck, and our thanks for allowing us to share this very personal time with you today. Elsie out. 5 vehicles armed. 3, 2, 1, fire.